Flano, apart from just winning, I imagine you're pretty proud of the performance overall tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. Some of them could have been looking over their shoulder and say, we've been here before, and some nightmares might have come back because we've been in that position a lot of times this year, and to play like that in probably the last 20 minutes against competition leaders was really pleasing. But I knew I had it. I know what sort of team I've got, and I know I've got that in us. I know the team's got it in them.
I know it's pretty difficult sometimes with the wind and against it, but to overall control possession like you did and dominate play like you did for so much must be pleasing.
Yeah, we controlled, no yardage errors. Really good discipline in that space. Our kicking game was good. Our kick chase. All things that you need to really concentrate in wet, slippery, windy conditions. And not only the conditions, you've got to play against a good footy team as well. So, an outstanding effort from our boys. But they've been up for a couple of months, for a month or so. Haven't got the results, but the attitude's there. And some sides don't have what I've got. I definitely know that I've got attitude, commitment. We could do with a bit of class here and there, but we've got attitude and commitment. And I know a lot of other coaches wouldn't be able to say that.
Cookie, what about Kyle's goal kicking tonight?
There was one down this end, I think, into the wind. I was writing him off. I gave him no chance to kick it, and to see him go over, use the wind, go left to right, completely different to what he normally does. So he's always been a good kicker, though. We just had Val come down, obviously kicking well, but Kyle's jumped in and he's done a great job.
Flano, was there any, as gutsy as tonight was, is there any frustration about what the season could have been? You've just gone out and beaten the ladder leaders, and you probably won't play finals. Is there frustration in a performance like that? Do you know?
Yeah, there's definitely frustration that if we would have won those close games, especially early in the season, a couple of one-pointers here, and one game we scored more tries than the opposition, and goal kicking hurt us, and we know what happened at the back end, some close games by 6 or so points, but the early ones really hurt us. But were we going to win the comp this year? Probably not, but it puts us in a really good position moving forward. We're about what's happening next. I've blooded a lot of young kids. We had 10 of our top 30 out tonight. Some real, probably 8 of that 10 would have been in the team tonight. The education, the experience, the knowledge that all those young boys are getting this year is going to put us in a really good stead going forward.
Flano, in terms of game management, is that close to the best that you guys have managed a game this year? Not just for your half, but like you say, across the board in terms of just controlling possession and field position and whatnot?
Yep. Yeah, without a doubt. I think we're 90-something% in wet, slippery, tricky conditions. It was tough to kick. Jamal is probably one of the best kickers in the game. Didn't kick out twice. Struggled to get his kicking game right where I thought we got ours right. So it's a tough, tricky night, and Damien was outstanding. Gutho at the back, and I thought Kyle's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, but I thought he did a really good job.
Cookie, firstly about the freeze, but can you tell us how tough was it out there?
I'm cold now. It was. They were tough conditions. We were lucky during the week. We actually had bad weather that we got a bit of good practice in, but tonight was probably different. But like us before, and Shane said, we managed the conditions really well, especially in the second half. We wanted to run our way out of it. We knew we weren't going to make much distance with our kicking, just kicking into the wind. Like you said, Jamal was one of the best kickers in the game, and he was struggling to get some distance. So I thought we handled it really well, but at the moment, my fingers hurt.
You touched on it, Shane. It's been hard to get the boys up after such, especially last couple of weeks, just tight sort of losses.
Yeah, mate, a few people have asked that, and it hasn't really been hard to get them up. They've, been disappointed with the result, but really determined to stick with it and turn it around. We're not where this footy team wants to be, and the the 30 players in the squad expected to be. So without my input, they expected to be a lot higher. So there's not a lot of motivation needed from week to week. They're not happy where they're at. They're disappointed with some of the results, but there's really still a determination to finish the year off on a positive. And as I said, if we turn up like that week in, week out, we're going to be okay.
I don't know your patch, but can you see that Raiders side winning the comp?
Oh, mate, they've done outstanding this year. Tonight, as we've all said, we did a few things better than them, but they're going to be there at the end of the year. So I know Sticky's a good coach. He'll have them ready, and this loss for them, I'm not speaking for Sticky or the Canberra, it's just a pimple on their backside really when the big picture comes around. They've just got to get to the end of the year, be in that top four. Sticky's been there before, and he'll get them ready. Whether they can win or not, I don't know.